Welcome back, shall I say, to Slav Talk Racing. We're midway through quali and Mental Sun is back at it again, going up to the top of the times with a 1 minute 42.5, 4 tenths quicker than his nearest rival in the car, in the Mercedes below him. We have updated onboard cameras today. I've got stick drift and it's really annoying, bear with. Also, I have new graphics today as well, powered by Lightstream, as you can see. Not a sponsor, but it doesn't let me remove the watermark thing. So, yeah. I'll just have that there. It says, well, I can remove it, just to pay for it, and if I'm honest, I don't want to pay for it. So, yeah, we've got that. We've also got the advertisement for my radio show in the bottom corner, as well as a chat box as well. And into the wall for Mental Sun. On the end of his quali lap, or on the end of his in-lap, should I say, he's in the wall. We have one of the Williams not finishing a lap. We have a car off. That's Christy in the Alpine off and riding on board with the new onboards now, the fixed onboard cameras, which don't have the weird lines on them anymore. And they're a bit more central as well. They differ between each car, as you can see. I didn't actually know this feature existed in the F1 game. Is that, yeah, the whole front nose is gone on Mag Thatcher's car. That is, wow, I've never seen a car get that damaged before. Wow. So I don't know what Mag Thatcher's done, but she's really had a, wow, I'm a bit stunned by that, if I'm honest. Meanwhile, we have one of the Red Bulls, Arimus, on an outlap. We also have in P3 Derek Quay as well, who's on an actual lap. I think one of the V Cubs, or maybe one of the Hasses. We've got Alan here at the moment. We're going to look to the other V Cub of Simples, 4 seconds down. We have maybe one of the Alpines on a fast lap, I'm not too sure. There's the other Alpine of Alex M, he's on an outlap. We have a McLaren of Gersh on an outlap as well. Everyone's on an outlap here. We've kind of caught them midway on their kind of mid-session having a break scene. So that'll be good. Just gonna open this up on Twitch a second, and then share the stream around. But yeah, it's good to be back on Slav Talk Racing. It was a great race in Brazil, I have to say myself. Probably one of the best races to commentate on was Brazil. We are back here in Spa, which is an elite better track, or an elite track, should I say. So have a look. Let me share the stream around a minute. Alright, sharing the stream around a little bit to loads of different people. So we have a look, we have the Ferrari Mr. Towers, currently P4. He is invalid on that lap. Here's Alan, his G Shifty, should I say, it's not Gush. I was told after the Brazilian Grand Prix it's pronounced G Shifty, the one acting as an I, which is very confusing to people like myself who don't really spot those things. Meanwhile, we have one of the V carbs. There's also a couple of other name changes that or name pronunciation things that I should say. One of them being, I called him Canine Cube in the last race at Brazil. It's actually Canine Cube, as in the dog breed, the police dogs. So that's interesting to note as well. We have Alex M going to P5, pushing Mr. Towers down a position. Mr. Tower, who was in Haas last time out in Brazil. and ended up finishing well after being hit. As meanwhile, 3 tenths away from the pole time goes G Shifty. Meanwhile, Mental Sun is currently on a lap, but he's 800ths down, so he's struggling. It looks very busy at turn 1. So go on board with the new McLaren on board. New share. Oh, I need to share the stream into the actual thing. No, not that. I need to share it. I shared it in the wrong thing. Whoops. No, that's Late Breakers Club. There we go. Click. There we go. So, yeah, let's see who else is on our lap then. Let's ride on board with Mental Sun. Then he's gained 3 tenths up compared to when we last saw him. We just saw a bit of dust there, and it was from the Aston Martin in front of us. Not too sure who that is. It might be Ben Olds or Flobberlob. It was one of those two. But we go through the chicane then. Oh, I've accidentally clicked the button. And the Mental Sun has gone purposefully quicker. 4 tenths ahead now of G Shifty. Mental Sun does this for a hobby, it looks like. Drinking my coffee. Meanwhile, we have G Shifty here, currently backing out of his lap. We have I think K9 Cube might be on a lap. Let's have a look with the Sauber driver. We passed the Chrome McLaren in the back there. We head into the chicane, clips the first curb, and pits. So that lap came to an end rather quick. Let's have a look then. We have Flobberlob currently on a lap. He did a very good comeback drive from a very aggressive strategy onto the hard tyres very early on in Brazil. He fought his way up the field and essentially just he fought his way up the field, played it as if he was playing on 0 AI or 0% level AI, which was quite good. Meanwhile, we have Alan coming into the pits. Mag Thatcher, who lost his whole nose cone earlier on. Here's the Aston Martin with a new and better camera angle. Instead of watching lines and weird glitchy things, we now have a way better camera angle showing the whole onboard from the end of the airbox. As now we come off that onboard camera and we go up over the line. Flobberlob goes from last to second and 3. Oh wow, 5 thousandths but ahead of G Shifty. That is very close between the pair of them. It was a bit like this in yesterday's race for the Late Breakers Club in the Riverside here in the reverse Zandvoort race, where there was a lot of gaps down the field that were very close and very telling, but then the pole position gap was about 3 or 4 tenths. Obviously, pole in the Late Breakers Club went to weights in that respect. Meanwhile, here in Slav Talk Racing, we have Mental Sun on pole. His Iris in the Mercedes. He's always been quick from when I've seen him. Actually, no. He said it's called Brias, not Iris. The one and the 3 are meant to act like a B for some reason. So it is actually called Brias, which, yeah. I remember there's someone in retro racing called Bayous, so if I slip into that name, that's because I've commentated on Bayous for a year. Meanwhile, Ari Mas, who did reasonably well yesterday in the Ferrari in Late Breakers Club, now comes to Spa and is currently a 10th up. It looks like he's going to go a bit better. He got on the podium. He got into second actually yesterday after the whole Finanza with Andanai pitting and then battling Ari Mas' teammate, Card Elf. Ari Mas looking to hopefully go to a similar place that he was in yesterday. There's more people on this grid today, so he might be a little bit at a disadvantage. We have a look to Brias now, who is 3/10 up. Where will this put him? Will he be able to challenge for pole position with Mental Sun? He seems to be the only person to be able to really take a fight to Mental Sun at the moment. As you can see, as he goes just under a 10th behind Mental Sun in the V-Carb. So the Brackley-based car going very well. Meanwhile, we have Arimus 2/10 up on his previous lap. That could put him into the 1:43.0 region. Maybe even into a 1:42.9, depends how his last sector goes. He exits the last corner, goes over the line and sets a 1:42.8 and goes ahead of Flobberlob and G Shifty by 0.04 of a second. We have Alex now, Alex M, looking to show M. Terrible. Looking to go quicker than them. That's better. Alex M, oh, he is going quicker than his previous best by 0.2 of a second. One of the Ferraris, I think, ended their outlap. We have both McLarens on outlaps. Brias on an in-lap. We have one of the V-Carbs on an outlap as well. That's, or both V-Carbs now on an outlap. All ahead of Alex M, who is the man who is furthest through the track. The only man sector 2 on a push lap at the moment, from what I can tell. Derek Quay now on a push lap. He's heading into turn 1. You can see his orange dot heading round turn 1 and 2. As we get a quick hello from just Alex. Hello, hello. Good to see you, my friend. Nelson saying that he's back because he missed quali, and he's Arimus's teammate. So Nelson Tyler is here ready to go, and he looks to be in the Red Bull for this race. Meanwhile, Alex M, can he go quicker than them in the Alpine? He can go up to 3rd, so that's quicker than some of them, but not all of them. As we head round turn 1 and then into Eau Rouge and Radion. Let's have a look at Derek Quay then. Let's see how his lap is going. It's going quite well. He's 6,000 up. He needs a bit more than that to set a better lap time. Let's have a look at Simples. He's 1.2 seconds up on his lap so far, so that's a great lap by. That's a great run by him so far. Arimus doesn't look to improve. It looks like he's going on another lap. I think someone might have improved. It was K9 Cube who set a 1:44.000. Meanwhile, we have the Aston Martin of, I'm not too sure which Aston Martin that is, but it doesn't matter because they're both finished now with the session. We have Simples coming through. I think Brias is on a lap. He is, but he's a couple thousands down now. So he needs a bit more in this session to get up the order. But will he be able to do it? Will he be able to potentially slap that Mercedes onto pole position? He straddles the grass. He needs just over 1/10 of a second, but Mental Sun is on a lap, from what I can tell, as we have an Alpine round. So that could be potentially Alex M, or I think, yeah, it might be Alex M. But Brias goes over the line. It looks like he won't improve. We have Simples. Where's Simples? There he is. Simples going over the line and going no. He goes faster, but he doesn't go up the order. Meanwhile, we have G Shifty shifting 2/10 up on his lap so far. We have a lot of chaos going on at that chicane. We have a Red Bull off. We had an Alpine off a minute ago, just behind. Absolute chaos. Meanwhile, we have, who was I with? It was G Shifty, who's now coming over the line and going up into P2, and very alarmingly close to the pole time. The pole time doesn't improve. So G Shifty is, what's that, 600ths away from Mental Sun, which is quite mental indeed considering the pace difference in Brazil. We have Mag Thatcher going over the line, still without a nose, and going nowhere. We have the Haas of Allen going up ahead of this man's teammate, sitting 1:43.954. We have a McLaren. Oh, we have a Sauber approaching a Ferrari. We have an Alpine round, it looks like. Into the chicane. No, he darts into the pits. We have K9 Cube not making a better time of it. As the only man left is Mr. Towers there. And Mr. Towers is on the grass. And jumping. Me and my friend Max were doing 5-lap races around here earlier. And we were doing that same thing, but a lot faster and with a lot more damage. I'll put clips of them on the YouTube channel later on. Because they are very comedic, I must say so myself. But we're just waiting on a couple cars to pit. As we can see. And that will be the end of qualifying here for the Belgian Grand Prix in Slav Talk Racing League. Sorry if I'm missing things in chat, but I am trying to dart between the Twitch chat and the Discord chat in case there's any alerts. Nope, haven't missed any Twitch chats. So that is it then. Mental Sun gets pole position by 58 thousandths of a second. The top three separated by under a tenth of a second. Under 900ths of a second even. Which is mental. Top three separated by 86 thousandths of a second. Which is quite frankly unbelievable. We have two Americans behind the Poland man. And then we have a German, a Romanian, a Lithuanian, then 3 Brits, and then an Argentinian of Allen. So a great divide of nations here in Belgium. As Arimas warning everyone to not ready up. I think I'm not too sure what time we're going at. Oh, I forgot, I need to do that. Right, There we go. Right, there we go. So the stream is shared, everyone can see it. All good. Ready up at 8:05, so we will go in 5 minutes time. 5 minutes, and I'm in a car. Okay, I'm in a car. So, I'm not meant to be driving today, I'm meant to be commentating, but it's put me in a car. I'm not going to ready up. Can I retire from the session now? No, I can't. So, what I'll do, straight off the line, no one behind me, is there? There's one car behind me. So what I'll do is I'll let everyone through as turn 1, follow them round turn 1 to see what happens so I don't miss anything. And then I'll immediately... Oh, actually no. Do I follow them round turn 1? Oh yeah, I'll follow them round turn 1 to see if anyone goes off. And then I'll immediately retire like the apex of turn 1. Or something like that. Just a thing. Good luck, yeah, thanks. Oh, I can't wait to win this race today. Can't wait. Why is it called My Stream? I thought I did the name of it. Oh, it's not let me change the name of the stream. Okay. Well, right. Should we do a race strategy? Where are the wet tires? It's not let me do the wet tires. That's a shame. So I'm gonna exit. I don't know if I should retire off the line or if I should follow them through turn 1. And then, yeah, because I joined midway through qualifying. I joined midway through qualifying, so it's put me in as a late entry. So, yeah, I'm gonna have to, but I don't know, yeah, so, I don't know if I should start, like, get a bad start and then follow you lot round turn 1 so that I can commentate on what's going on round turn 1 so I don't miss anything, or if I should just retire off the line and hope and pray that it does it quick. But I'm not too sure because it's such a short run to turn 1. If this was Mexico or Spain or something like that, I think I'd be fine just to do it straight off the line, but because it's something like Belgium where it's not that quick, someone's readied up, which they've done 2 minutes early from what I can tell. Okay. Will do. Or shall I just dive bomb the lot of you into turn 1? No, I'm joking. Right, well there's one car behind me, so... Oh, it's a formation lap. Oh, so actually we can do a little bit of fun here. Do a little bit of fun here in terms of like following these drivers around, seeing what each of them are doing. So, cause you can't retire until the actual race starts, so... Right, so if Silent Assassin wants to go in front of me, so Silent Assassin trying the Brad Pitt strategy, it looks like, of waiting at the grid and then catching up later on to see if he can freeze everyone's tyres. So let's do a lap of Belgium real quick and see what these drivers are faced in against. Got a bit of stick drift here. Right, heading up through turn 1, through here. Car bottoming out here. We've got Christy here, sorting himself out. We've got Raikkonen behind. And the Aston Martins of Benold, who is 2 places in front of him. We've got a disconnected car of Floorfast. So that's going to be very awful for the Williams team. Just going off the track so we don't get in anyone's way. I've just got in someone's way, haven't I? Apologies there. We got Floorfast. We got a bit of Williams drama, a bit of reliability issues with internet. I'm going to take the little surface road here just so I can catch up a little bit. Got Alan, the last man in the top 10. This is like a grid walk, isn't it? Got Alan, who is a bit outside the top 10. He's just inside the top 10. And we've got Flobbelob just in front of that. Looks like he's just going through Puon. He's got a big gap between him and the Red Bull. We might need to close up a little bit in order to avoid any incidents. There's also a lot of continuing further behind with... Not too sure if that's the Williams of Raikkonen. Seems to have held up people a bit. The Haas of Allen as well holding up people. We have Arimas here warming up his tyres, getting things ready to go. And we have Alex M, very good qualifying by him to get up into 5th. We have Mr. Towers, who is apparently my teammate. He's not. Just switch to this side. So we have Arimas, and then we have Mr. Towers, who did very well in Brazil. We have Brias, who probably should have done better than he did in Brazil. As Brias has just gone off the track and got reset. A couple cars reset actually. Got G Shifty here just behind the pole sitter and our race winner from last week, Mental Sun. Just getting ready to go. We're going to watch them all now get onto the grid. So we have Flobbelob, Benolds, we have Alan. Canine Cube has also ghosted a bit there, but it doesn't look like he's disconnected at all. We have Mag Thatcher going up to the line, then Silent Assassin, and then apparently myself according to the game and its weird glitchiness. So Silent Assassin should be P17, but due to the game... Oh, I've been reset, whoops. So here we go then. I'm going to just... the stick drift is also going to make this a lot more difficult. Here we go then, 5 lights on here for the Belgian Grand Prix, and we are away. A couple cars stopped on the box there. And my stick drift is being amazing. Yes, it works, right. So heading through turn 1, it doesn't look like there's been too much dramas. Floorfast is stalled on the grid. But we have Mental Sun leading from G Shifty. Then comes Brias. We have a Ferrari off. That is... Oh, that's me. As we go through here, we have the Williams coming down the straight. We have a bit of battling further up front between Brias. Looking for a move on G Shifty, not getting it done. Meanwhile, further down the order, we have battling between the Alpine and the Sauber. Mag Thatcher has a collision with Christy, and Christy goes off. He lets the Alpine back through, as meanwhile Flobbelob making moves on Alex M in the Alpine, as there's a yellow flag for Floorfast, who is... doesn't look like he's driving. Not too sure what's going on with Floorfast, but his car is rolling down. Meanwhile, there's an off for one of the Alpines as Christy in the wall And that is just on the exit of the no-name corner. He's down the MotoGP layout from what I can see. That's very odd. So we have down the inside for the Aston Martin. That is not Bernal. No, that is Bernal being attacked by Arimas, who looks like he's lost a lot of places here. As Floorfast retires from the session, Arimas gets shoved off the track with Bernal's. So it looks like a bad start for Arimas, or he must have just gone down lower from where he qualified. There's a bit of contact there with Alex M and Simples, the teammate of the leader, who has just set the fastest lap of the race. Simples battling here, the number 77 car, heading into turn 1, looking for a move on Simples. He goes round the outside of the La Source corner. We have the McLaren here, he's watching all of this and just watched it happen. The McLaren now looking to pick up the pieces. Meanwhile, we have the Mercedes of Brias looking to take second place away from G-Shifty, but G-Shifty isn't going to give that one up very easily. Forces the Mercedes to back out. Meanwhile, side by side for Derek Quay, who picks 2 cars off in 1 corner. Beautiful stuff by the McLaren man, who does the papaya ping on both of them. As there's a car off, that's Alan. Alan off in the gravel at Malmedy, and he's trying to make sure no one is coming through the track there. Meanwhile, Silent Assassin being dive bombed by Mag Thatcher, who has a nose on the car this time, which is quite incredible compared to in qualifying. He didn't have a front nose cone for the entire session, from what I could see. Meanwhile, back with Mag Thatcher, we have they're very close, him and the Red Bull, but it doesn't look like any moves are going to be made as of yet. But this is the battle there. We have the Mercedes trying to stay ahead of the Ferrari at the moment. The Mr. Towers car looking to make amends for qualifying. We have the Aston Martin as well. Flobberlob looking to try and continue on his momentum from Brazil. As Canine Cube side by side with one of the Saubers. Canine Cube is the Sauber, who is side by side with Arimas, should I say. And both Saubers and Red Bulls are battling. As you can see, Arimas dive bombing the Canine Cube. Meanwhile, we have Silent Assassin and Mag Thatcher further back battling as well. There was battling in the bus stop chicane at least, wasn't there? There's the Roscoe helmet on Mag Thatcher looking to leap ahead. We have Simples getting ahead of Alex M, who isn't going to let him have another look. As we have Mag Thatcher getting ahead of Silent Assassin. Almost contact there between the Sauber and the Red Bull. We have now, it's been quite a decent race so far, but we have the Haas off. That is Alan in the wars. Him and Christy haven't had the best start. We have the first penalty of the race given to Simples for multiple warnings. I presume that's for potentially track limit violations, going off the track too many times and gaining time from it. And Christy's just got the same penalty. So 2 penalties after on lap 3 given to Christy and Simples. So that'll help Raikkonen and Arimas, and potentially even Canine Cube if he can catch up to Simples. On board with the Red Bull of Arimas, who's looking to get round Raikkonen. These two both behind Simples, so this is battling for the net 8th place. Round the outside for the Red Bull. That's a great move if he can make it stick, and he does, and Raikkonen darts for the pit lane. So Raikkonen in the pits after being done on the outside by the Red Bull. It's a great move by the Red Bull, but it looks like a strategy pull has been done by Raikkonen. He's the first one to blink. As Mental Sun losing 2 positions, and he's off. He's off at Radion. A very uncharacteristic mistake by Mental Sun. Meanwhile, G-Shifty loses the lead to Brias. Mr. Towers gets ahead of Flobberlob. Brias' team, the Alpine of Christy in the wars again, in the gravel at Stavelo. What on earth has happened to the V-carb? I need to ask him about that. I need to see if I can get a response that's losing the car as well. Looks like his rear tyres might be really overheated now. Maybe he's got... Oh, wow, he's really struggling for rear-end stability in that V-car. Let's ride aboard with him, see if we can catch any more snaps. Find out, maybe, what could be causing the snaps. Maybe a lack of rear-end downforce could be contributing to it, but he's gone round a Radeon. Maybe he's clipped the curb on the inside of the third corner. And potentially lost the car that way. As we just... We got cars coming through at Blanchimont corner. Now we have the Ferrari of Mr. Tower ahead at the moment. We have the Sauber of Canine Cube going into the pits. And he should come out just... This will be interesting actually, to see if Raikkonen gets ahead of Canine Cube or not. Let's have a look. Raikkonen is that blue dot coming up to that green circle. And currently the green arrow is Raikkonen. Meanwhile, I'm going to cut away from this for a quick second because a move is being made. Two moves are being made. One of them for the lead by G Shifty. The other one for third place with Flobbelob, who gets ahead of the Ferrari. Mental Sun as well gets up into fifth again. So that's great stuff. Three moves being made. 3 battles being had between 6 drivers. Speaking of the pit stop battle that I was talking about, Canine Cube 1, he's ahead of Raikkonen. Raikkonen behind him by 3.7 seconds. The same gap goes for Canine Cube 2, Sudden Assassin, who is losing the car out of the Lacombe chicane. Meanwhile, here's the front 4, bit of grass cutting done by Brias. It's now around the Stavelot corner, and on the exit now, heading up Blanchimont corner. It doesn't look like any moves are going to be made into Blanchimont at the moment. I've had my fair share, or I've had my move at Blanchimont for sure. In F122, in SRC, or a league called SRC, right here, we're going around the outside of Ferrari driver Aaron Walling. One of my better moves in the early part of my league racing career. But now I'm watching the Aston Martin Aramco machine heading down, trying to chase down the Mercedes. Will Briers get the lead back from the McLaren? They all blast to the top of the hill and over the Camel Straight. As side by side for the pair of them, G Shifty loses the place to Brias. And the Mercedes in the lead again here in this Belgian Grand Prix. We have the Alpine as well of Alex M looking to show Derek Way what for. As meanwhile, we just had a pit stop for Silent Assassin, it looks like. So he's come, but oh no, it looks like he might have made a mistake or something because he's lost a lot of time to Canine Cube. He was ahead of Canine Cube a minute ago, but now he's being chased down by Raikkonen, so I must have missed that mistake. Might not got yellow flagged, I'm not too sure. Just realised the advert for the radio show is covering the DNFs. Maybe just sort that out. Being tagged in Discord. That's not a lot to be said there. Just move that down. There we go. That's perfect. I'll leave that there now. I might have to move it if I get a 20 car grid, but never mind. So meanwhile, actually, do you know what? I could put this. I could put that there, couldn't I? I'm still setting this stuff up. I set it up briefly this morning after finding out what it was, but I'm still playing around with it. So just seeing if I can sort it out. But yeah, it's the first broadcast with not only the new onboards but also with the new graphics as well. So yeah, these things might change in the future, as you can see. They've just changed now. But yeah. Meanwhile, we have the McLaren trying to fend off the Ferrari. The McLaren of G Shifty not able to make a move. Meanwhile, the Alpine of Alex M looking to go down the inside of Derek Quay, and he does so. So Quay gives way to Alex M. Very close. I keep thinking there's battling between these two, but no, it's just the dots on the minimap look so close. Meanwhile, further up the field, we have... Oh, that's what it was. Right. Meanwhile, we're still looking for the next overtake. It looks like it'll be done by G Shifty, who's getting a lot closer now to Brias. So as long as he doesn't lose that gap, he should be okay. Heading around up into Blanchimont corner. And let's see, into the bus stop chicane. Will G Shifty be stopped by Brias? Yes, he will for now, but will he be stopped heading into turn 5? Because that is where the lead changes the most in this race so far, and it normally does change the most at that Kemmel Straight. As meanwhile, there's a change of position as Arimas goes into the pits. The Red Bull car in the pit lane. Alex M as well, looking very punchy behind the V-carb of Mental Sun, the pole sitter. Meanwhile, heading down the straight, any move's going to be made. Any car's going to dart to the right-hand side. I reckon it might be the green one. It's not close enough, but Alex M does get ahead of Mental Sun. So Alex M has more pace than the man who set pole position now. So meanwhile, there's tight stuff going on between the Sauber of Mag Thatcher and Arimas, who Arimas gets out the pits and just ahead of Mag Thatcher, but Thatcher might have DRS now. No, he doesn't. No, yes, he does. Apologies. As the Roscoe helmet now catches up to the Red Bull, goes to the inside. Is it going to be a move made? Yes, it will, but he goes deep. And now, the Sauber has to fend him off, and dipping into the gravel goes Arimas, and that's going to ruin his run. And the Sauber not able to make the move stick. So, no, the Red Bull, should I say, not able to make the move stick. So Arimas. And while we go back to the V-carb, we don't go to the Aston Martin here. Let's see what this battle... They've been within a couple of tenths of each other this whole time. Not a lot of moves being made. This is a bit like the battle in... Oh, actually, hang on. I'll save that reference for a bit later, because Flobberlob pulls the trigger out the top 4 and darts into the pit lane. So let's see how the top 3 respond to that. As Flobberlob into the pits, what tires did he go on? He was on mediums, he is now on hards. So out goes Flobberlob. And let's see if he can now, as Derek Quay and Mental Sun both following in suit. That means Benolds might... No, Benolds is going to come out just behind his teammate. Yeah, way behind his teammate. As the Red Bull of Arimas needing to clear Mag Thatcher if he wants to be able to catch the cars in front, but Mag Thatcher holding him up a lot. This is almost like... Wow, this is holding him up a bit like Jack Aitken being held up in the 24-hour Daytona race, but behind the GT traffic. This is very similar for Arimas, who goes for the inside, round the kink on the exit of Radion. Very close stuff. As now, Mag Thatcher letting Canine Cube through. Canine Cube, should I say. Great team play by the Saubers. Mag Thatcher holding Arimas up, and Arimas now has to watch his mirror for the other Sauber of the Canine Cube. Alan getting a penalty, the third man to get one in this race so far. The fourth one, should I say. The Ferrari of Mr. Towers. Let's see who goes into the pits then. Out of these drivers, let's see. Does Brias come into the pits? In the Mercedes. He took the lead after Mental Sun's mistake and after G Shifty let him through. And yes, Looks like they're all going in. They all dart to the pit lane. Alex M stays out and goes on to take the lead. There's a spin for Silent Assassin at the Lacombe chicane, and now he heads into Malmedy. There's G Shifty coming out, and there is Mental Sun. No, that's Simple, should I say. Where's Flobberlob in all this? Flobberlob going around turn 1. Is he going to come out ahead of these guys? He has jumped them all in the pit stop run and has gained track position. Flobberlob with the ultimate overcut. He's overcut G Shifty and Bryus in that strategy. So great stuff. And he's not only just overcut them by a little bit, he's overcut them by over the DRS margin as well. That is incredible. Right. So, the Aston Martin should be very proud of himself, and actually Simples is losing a lot of time here. Obviously Floblob in a net P2 with that penalty hanging over the shoulder of Simples. Alex M staying out for a bit longer, looking like he's gonna pit and try and keep those hard tyres out for as long as possible. But in terms of the medium runners, or the people who were running mediums at the start, as down the inside, big move by Flobberlob to get track position over Simples. He went late on the brakes down the inside of the V-carb at the Piff Path chicane and on the gravel on the exit of Stavalo. Now he blasts up to Blanchimon, and there's a move being made by the Mercedes on the outside. On the run into Blanchimon, we have another spin for the Silent Assassin, who's round at the same place that Simple's teammate went round earlier on. Simple's teammate being Mental Sun, who took pole position. He took the win in qualifying, but he's now looking to try and take 7th from Bernolds. Meanwhile, his teammate goes into the pits as well as Bernolds. As Mr. Towers going over the line, we have Derek Quay going ahead. The Saubers looking like they're staying out at the moment as well. Here is Bernolds going on to a set of hard tyres, just like his teammate. Arimus now trying to chase down Derek Quay. Here is Mental Sun going past our shop. We have Mr. Towers here heading through. Here's the McLaren G Shifty looking to make the move stick, or looking to catch up to Bryus, but Bryus himself is actually catching up to Flobberlob. He's closing that gap a lot. They're side by side between Simples and Mag Thatcher, and Simples almost spinning there. Number 77 V-carb nearly going round on the exit of turn 6. So very close stuff there. Meanwhile, we have the Mercedes trying to catch the V-carb. This is the second closest battle on track according to the telemetry. And we're halfway through this race. 11 laps to go after this one. Who will win? Also, is Alex M going to come in soon? As he locks up there. We have a spin for Alan at the no-name corner. That's lost him a lot of time. Silent Assassin gets a penalty for track limit warnings again, I think. He had one earlier, I'm pretty sure. Alan's got one for sure, as well as Derek Quay isn't in. No, Derek Quay, Alex M isn't in, but his teammate Christy is. As we have the Aston Martin now coming up to lap the other Alpine of Christy. So let's have a look. Aston Martin now coming up to lap Christy. This is Flobberlob in the green and fluorescent yellow Aston Martin. He's being chased down by the silver, black and turquoise Mercedes car of Bryus. Heading round Malmedy corner into the no-name corner and then out along the straight. No safety cars halfway through into this race. Very clean by these lads. It's been a couple spins, but nothing too serious to warrant any issues. This is the leader. We're on board with him. We're going to see if he pits this lap or not. But he is in the lead by a good margin. We have the Aston Martin and the Mercedes getting very close to each other. 4/10 separating the pair of them. He's going to try and close up on Flobberlob. Nothing done so far. Here is Alex M, and he finally pits. And he's going to be on fresher tyres as well, so watch out to see him making moves later on in the race. We have a battle between Simples and Mag Thatcher that's brewing. But let's see where Alex M comes out then. Alex M in the pits onto medium tyres. Mental Sunset's another fastest lap of the race, so he isn't done for the day. He's looking for at least a podium. Or at least P4 from Mr. Towers, at least. But Alex M comes out P6, which is where he was before he pitted, or before the pit stop circle started. He's ahead of Derek Quay. He's on fresher tyres as Flobberlob loses the lead to Bryce on the Camel Straight into the 5th bend, known as the Lacombe chicane. As K9 Cube with a 3-second penalty. And the Red Bull of Arimas trying to catch Derek Quay. But yeah, keep an eye on Alex M. He might be able to catch up to the battle between Mental Sun and the Ferrari of Mr. Towers as well. Mag Thatcher gets ahead of Simples, who is in the gravel. So Simples, he lost the car a little bit and had a slide trying to pass Mag Thatcher before. And he's now spun again, and he's now behind Benolden, nearly behind Raikkonen, which is quite incredible, I have to say so myself. As heading around No Name on board with the Williams with one of the new onboard cameras. Please let me know if you do like the onboard cameras, or if I should change any of them to make them look better. But in my eyes, these are quite good cameras in terms of the broadcast. I have different cameras for when I actually play the game, but these are mainly for broadcast entertainment. So Brian setting the fastest lap, stealing it away from Mental Sun, who is on a comeback drive at the moment. Somehow only one DNF. It says 2 DNFs, but that's because the game mistakenly put me in as a late entry driver when I'm meant to be a commentator, because I joined in midway through qualifying and didn't hit spectator. Meanwhile, we have the K9 Cube in the pits. What tyres does he go on to? Are they soft? No, they meet another set of medium tyres. So that's a 2-stop strategy for the K9 Cube. Very aggressive. I'm surprised that he didn't... Well, actually, no, I'm not surprised that he didn't try and make softs work, but I'm surprised he didn't try and make those mediums do more laps to try softs later on in the race, at around lap 18. Because he might have been able to keep track position for a bit longer, but then also do what he's trying to do, which is use fresh tyres to catch up the order and try and gain some time. As Alan off, the man in P14 spinning on the exit of the bus stop chicane. Meanwhile, the leader looking over his shoulder when he sees a green blob in that mirror of his. As you can see, the Aston Martin, we look from over the shoulder of Flobberlob, goes into the bus stop chicane, clips those curbs, and catches up very nicely to Bryce. He loses a little bit of time out of that chicane though. We also have the Ferrari to watch out for. Let's have a look at Alex M as well, who's just set the fastest lap on those fresh medium tyres. So Mental Sun, who was setting the fastest laps earlier, is now looking over his shoulder because he has an Alpine raging up behind him. Here comes the Aston Martin then, with DRS enabled, as you can see, without gap in the rear wing. That gives him more straight line speed, but it doesn't give him enough to outbrake Bryce. Meanwhile, the Ferrari with the same DRS input doesn't get the move done on G Shifty. No moves being made further down the order apart from maybe Bernolds trying to look at a move on Simples. Mag Thatcher also following his teammate by pitting onto another set of medium tyres. Let's have a look at Bernolds then. We're on board with the Aston Martin's team, with the teammate of the man in second. This is the battle for P9. They both have a penalty. Well, at least one penalty. Is a good move there by Bernolds, who gets ahead of Simples. That was simply done by Bernolds. He must be benevolent with that, as we look to his teammate who's 9/10 away. Bryce pulling the gap over Flobberlob and looking to maybe make redemption for Brazil. But an uncharacteristic mistake by Mental Sun. He hasn't really been able to come back from it yet. With the Ferrari here looking for a move. That's Mr. Towers, who came back to almost second before the penalty came in. It was a really good drive by Mr. Towers in the Haas in Brazil. But now he's in the faster car, the Ferrari car. He's looking for a move on G Shifty. 3/10 separates them. DRS wing open. That gives him more straight line speed to power past the McLaren and go into turn 5 ahead here on lap 16. Great stuff. Meanwhile, we're going to look down the order because we have the battle between Simples and Bernolds heating up again. Bernolds side by side with Bernolds and Simples. Simples is going to get ahead heading into a Rouge and Radion. Who's going to back out? It has to be Bernolds at one point, but they both sent it in there with full commitment. And actually, Bernolds trying to hang it out in a Rouge actually cost him heading into turn 5 because he's now not close enough to make a DRS pass. If he had backed out of it, he might have been able to keep the straight line speed. But Mr. Tower is ahead of G Shifty, the Ferrari on the podium, just like in the race yesterday for the Late Breakers Club. Meanwhile, we have G Shifty with Mr. Towers behind, or Mr. Towers ahead, should I say. Let's see, bit of a lock up. They could. Bit of a lock-up that you could hear from the tyres of G Shifty. Heading into turn 1 again. They're still battling between. There's a battle brewing between Canine Cube and Raikkonen. Canine Cube on the fresher medium tyres, looking for a move on the Williams. This is the closest battle on track according to the telemetry at the moment. Although it won't be for long because G Shifty is looking for a move on the Ferrari to the inside. No, not letting it happen. And not going for anything silly because Mental Sun is right there to pick up the pieces. The battle for the lead isn't closing up anymore either. And there's side by side between Raikkonen and Canine Cube. Raikkonen behind Canine Cube. I missed what happened at the bus stop because I was calling the action between G Shifty and Mr. Towers. But the battle for P11 goes in the favour of Canine Cube on those fresher medium tyres. Meanwhile, the McLaren trying to stay ahead of Mental Sun while trying to catch Mr. Towers. There's battling again between, I'm missing it, the Sauber of Canine Cube losing the place to Raikkonen, so he gained it for about 4 corners, and then he's lost it by the time he got to turn 5. That battle rages on. Meanwhile, Bernolds trying to get back ahead of Simples. The McLaren of G Shifty trying to get ahead of Mr. Towers 06. Mental Sun watching this, waiting to pick up the pieces as well. Alex M is on the scene as well. So 4 laps to go in this race, and a big battle brewing for a podium place. The battle for the lead is getting close as well. That is blue flags for Silent Assassin. Meanwhile, Brias up through Rouge and Radion, ahead of Flobolo, but for how much longer? The Red Bull gets out of the way, but they both don't really close up at all. The McLaren, meanwhile, catching up to the outside and nearly gets ahead of Mr. Towers. We're going to ride on board with the V-Carb, and the Ferrari and the McLaren both go off, and Mental Sons goes through. So does Alex M on G-Shifty. What an absolute moment that was. Mr. Towers, who was being shoved off into the wall at turn 2 at Brazil at scary speeds, is now shoving G-Shifty so far off the track that he went off the track himself. So that could be a potential into the shoot, whether that's a penalty or not. Is G-Shifty is probably rattled by that. We have battling between Raikkonen and Canine Cube. Canine Cube getting ahead of Raikkonen in this battle on this particular lap. We have Alex M now. They've all kind of spaced out after that, but it all got very hectic on the exit of turn 7 just before Malmedy. It's the Aston Martin into turn 1, 3 laps to go. Looking to make the move stick. No, 4 laps to go, should I say. Can't count, looks like. Looks like... Oh, that's Arimus and Derek Quay. I thought I was looking at G-Shifty then. Also, Alex M looking to catch up to Mr. Towers and get right back past him on those fresh medium tyres, and now he's going to chase after Mental Sun, and he almost catches Mental Sun. Mental Sun harvesting energy, you can tell with that flashing red light on the back of the car ahead. That's Mental Sun trying to gain back some ERS charge to use as boost on the way down on some of the parts of the lap. Alex M ahead of the Ferrari, but it looks like Mr. Towers isn't going to let him go too easy. These three separated by under 2 seconds, and Mr. Towers getting a penalty. That's going to hurt him in the race. Flobolob also has a penalty, which will hurt his challenge for the race win. And with 4 laps to go, or just over 3 laps to go now, it's all to play for here in Slav Talk Racing in the Belgian Grand Prix. We head around Blanchimont corner. Flobolob catching up to Brias, chucking down the gears. A little bit of a curb usage there. And there's a yellow flag as Sun Assassin is off. Where is he? He's there. He's now got Christy catching up for the battle for last. Christy's so excited by that he almost drove off the track, as meanwhile his teammate in the other Alpine, Alex M, just over a second away from Mental Sun, who has used his DRS to make sure there isn't any DRS for Alex M. That's very smart. Very smart by the white V-Carb. Making sure there isn't a DRS threat for Alex M by using all of his DRS to pull 1 second at the detection point, which, for those who don't know, is that green target looking dot, which is the other side of the start-finish straight. There is one before the start-finish straight for the DRS there as well, but if you're within a second of a car in front at that green target dot, otherwise known as this part of the track, if you're under a second, you get a big DRS thing and you get the rear wing open over this straight here, heading down into the Lacombe chicane. And that is something that most of these drivers are going to use to overtake with. They have done so for the last 20 laps. As we head on to lap 21, it's something that all the drivers in the top 6 are going to want to have. It's battle for first with Flobberlob, as Alan is out of the session. Where is he? Is he in the pits? Yes, he is. So he's retired in the pits, he's gone back in the garage, and he's now reportedly going up for a bit of cheese and crackers before going bed. And it's now heading down the straight into Arouge and Radion. Is a move going to be made for the lead? Let's see, he's very close. He's closer than he's been on the last few laps by a country mile. The Aston Martin, with 2 laps to go, thinks about it but doesn't action it. Meanwhile, the V-Car too far in front for the Alpine to get ahead. Meanwhile, the Aston Martin, it looks like he's going to wait one more lap to get the DRS on that long straight into turn 5 before he's able to get the move done on the Mercedes. Looking from behind is the Mercedes of Brias. As we have the Mercedes for one more lap. Can he keep Flobberlob behind? Flobberlob, who finished in P4 last time out in Brazil, if I'm not mistaken. He's now going to finish P2, which is an improvement on his last result, but when he's this close to a win, I don't think he's going to let it go. We have one more lap to complete when we cross the finish line in about 20 seconds time. 10 seconds time, should I say. So we come through the bus stop chicane. A bit wide there for Brias. That's going to really lose him a lot of time. To Flobberlob. Flobberlob has a bit of wheel spin. We also have the battle for third to watch out for in the pink, with the pink Alpine and the white V-Carb. Let's ride on board with the Aston Martin and let's see if he can make the move. We look from behind the Mercedes. That's what will be on the mind of the Mercedes. What is behind us? Let's meet an off. Alex M. Alex M. Looks like he's made a mistake, but that battle for third has been secured now for Mental Sun. Meanwhile, the battle for the lead as there's contact between Christy and Silent Assassin, but the move for the lead, done by Flobberlob. He gets ahead of the German Mercedes car. The British Aston Martin leading ahead in the Belgian Grand Prix. The Brackley-based Mercedes team, representing the German brand, overtakes the Canadian-based team running the British brand. What has happened here with Silent Assassin? He nearly has a crash there. Luckily, the ghosting mode stopping any crash from happening. Safety features in the F1 game are unparalleled compared to in real life due to not actually being at the speeds. But anyway, we have Arimus getting a late race penalty for multiple warnings. That'll hurt his race not at all actually, because he has no one within 3 seconds of him. Going up to the bus stop chicane, this Mercedes of Brias is actually very close to Flobberlob. Is he going to maybe make a move into the Blanchimont corner? No, he backs out of it. He's now going to go to the outside. Flobberlob's in danger of losing the win on the final corner. Round the outside for the Mercedes. He goes for it. Goes a bit wide. Who's going to come out in front? They make contact. They bash wheels. But who will come out in front? It is the Aston Martin of Flobberlob who wins by barely anything. But he has penalties, which drops him down to third. Brias wins ahead of Mental Sun. Then comes Flobberlob with the penalty. Then comes G Shifty ahead of Mr. Towers. Then comes Alex M ahead of Arimus. Then comes Derek Quay, who comes over the line to finish in P8. Then comes Canine. Then comes Simples, who will be ahead of Canine Cube to round out the top 10 here in Slav Talk Racing. Absolutely incredible, I must say so myself. I don't know what's going on here. They're all... Oh! The Aston Martin of Flobberlob, from what I can tell, has ran out of fuel, and the AIs are too scared to pass him. How comical is that? Meanwhile, we have Raikkonen going over the line, and we have 3 more drivers to cross the line before we call it a day here in Belgium. Thank you very much to everyone at Slav Talk Racing. It's been another great race to commentate on. Hope to be back next week. And catch me tomorrow. Not too sure what race I'll be doing, or commentating on, or driving on. Not too sure. It might be Green Army. It might be, but I'm not too sure. Let's see. Anyway, that is the end of the race then. That is it all done. Meanwhile, right. Here we go then. It's the American of Prix who wins in Belgium ahead of the Poland, ahead of the pole, should I say? That's what they call it. The pole man from Poland, known as Mental Sun, who finishes ahead of the British Bulldog of Flob a Lob. It's been a great race here in Spa. Cheers to that, my friends. Thank you very much. So, the race winner was Prix. The fastest lap was taken by Alex M on those fresh mediums in that last stint. The driver of the day was Flobberlob for his intense action today. And the most overtakes was done by Simples in the V cab. That was the Belgian Grand Prix for Slav Talk Racing. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Although, actually, before I say goodbye, I'll see if there's any quotes or interviews or things that I can do. Well, thanks, Flobberlop. Thank you very much. Appreciate that one, my friend. Anyway. Thank you very much for that, Flobberlop, actually. That means a lot. Anyway. So I think that's it then. I don't think there's... I'll check to see if there's anything else I should say, but... So that was it then. That was it. That was it. Also, actually, while we're at it, I'm going to commentate really quickly on the Late Breakers Club, Belgian, Dutch Grand Prix, Dutch Reverse Grand Prix, should I say? Oh no, never mind. I don't think. Oh no, it is there. Good, it is there. I did 5 laps earlier. I didn't know if it had got pushed out of my theatre mode because I didn't save it, but no, it is here, so I can commentate on it, which is good. Right, here we go then for my race at the Late Breakers Club Dutch Grand Prix in the Raging Bulls tier on Friday. And it was a pretty hectic start, as you could expect. So we all headed to turn 1. This is the feature race. We had a sprint race beforehand as we hit the wall into turn 1, or we hit the back of a car into turn 1, hit the top wall as well, lose a bit of our front wing end plate. Meanwhile, cars everywhere. There's a Salmon backwards, there's an Alpine at the top of the turn 1 dead. We run into the back of our own teammate. The Ferrari of Eagle also crashes out as well. It's absolute pandemonium here. Mr. Tower lasted a corner before he got decked into the wall. At the end of lap 1, the VSC was called in, and us with our damaged wing trying to catch up to the Mercedes, who ends up pitting. So Erky Boy in the pits. We now try and catch Christy, who was quite quick, I must say so myself, but we try and catch up to him, and we'll see if we eventually pass him. Currently in P12, ahead of Silent Assassin, and then we go off into the gravel, take out the 100-meter board. Meanwhile, the Williams of Waits, who won the Riverside tier Dutch Grand Prix, spun as, meanwhile, we had a VSC, and then on the restart, Eagle brake checking us into turn 1, or into turn 2 should I say. Meanwhile, we have Jamie ahead of us. We knock the back of Jamie, lose the car. Waits goes around the outside. We go for a late dive on Waits and lose the car again. It's not a very good lap there. Meanwhile, here on lap 24, we're trying to hold Potts behind. Potts looking for a move. We go in very deep, hit the grass. Potts now goes side by side with us. And side by side, great move by Potts as well, who gets ahead up into P6. We now dive into the pits for a new set of tyres. In doing so, we end up getting a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane by going 40 miles an hour in a 37 mile an hour pit lane. Meanwhile, here on lap 29, we're in P9, but this would probably be about P11 by now. Erky Boy went off at this section, so we go up into P8, as you can see. As into there, and that is the end result. We did get I think it was P7 on the road. I didn't see it there. We got P7 on the road, but we ended up losing, I think, about 2 positions with that 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that was the Late Breakers Club Raging Bulls tier for the Reverse Dutch Grand Prix. Right, I love commentating. Right, okay. Good. Right, well, the new graphics are great, I must say. I need to put more adverts at the bottom, because there's some other things I'd like to advertise. So I've got the radio show, I've got Brick Car, which I need to make an advert for. Actually, I'll do that in a minute or two. And then, yeah, right, I'll upload this to YouTube, clip it up and things like that. Doesn't look like there's anything else I need to say, to be honest. So yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. And goodbye.